Hey, how's it going, Jacqueline? My name is Jack here with Rocket Ship SEO. I'm one of the SEO consultants here. What I wanted to do was do this video analysis for you and go over exactly what I can see as a search marketer in terms of where your website is at in terms of SEO, what's potentially out there with kind of the keywords that we want to capture, and how we're going to go about doing that if we were to tackle this project on together. All right. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hop over to one of our tools called Ahrefs. Ahrefs allows search marketers like myself to look at some of the metrics behind the site and see what kind of SEO has been done to the site. And so what I can see right off the bat is that there hasn't been any SEO work done to the site. The reason I can tell that is because of the fact that there is no referring domains. The reason being is one of the first things that an SEO company is going to do when they're working on your SEO campaign, well, not necessarily the first thing, but one of the main things that they're going to be doing is actually building the authority and trust to your site, because authority and trust has a huge correlation in determining how highly you rank for the keywords you want to rank for, as well as how quickly you get there once you have the authority and trust cooked into your site. And so the way that Google measures how authoritative or trustworthy a site is a number of things, but some of the biggest thing is actually the number of referring domains that you have. And so in case you didn't know what a referring domain is, it's basically any website out there on the internet that links back to your website via hyperlink. So for example, if there's a blog out there that's called the kidssunglassesblog.com, and they make a new blog post and they say, hey, if you're looking for the best kids sunglasses in the world, check out junia-co.com, and then there'd be a hyperlink that links back to your site. So if someone clicked on that link from the site kidssunglasses.com, then it would direct them to your site. So just in the fact that another website is linking back to your website gets credit for that. And so when you have a lot of these websites that link back to your site, it shows Google that you're trustworthy and you're authoritative, because in Google's eyes, when you have a lot of websites talking about your website, it shows that you're the kind of website that other websites like to talk about, and you're the kind of website that other websites like to refer their own visitors to, because they're basically like, hey, check out this website, hey, check out this business, right? And so in Google's eyes, in Google's algorithm, basically it shows it that you're a trustworthy site and you're a popular and authoritative site. And so that's why you want a lot of these websites to link back to your site. And when you have a lot of these websites that link back to your website, you're going to see a lot of the referring domains. Right now, it shows that you have 2 live referring domains linking back 3 times. We want to shoot for at least 300 referring domains on about 3,000 backlinks, because that's really going to help put you at the authoritative level that you need to be. Now, the tricky part is that because you are an e-commerce store, you're going after national keywords, right? So we service both national clients as well as local businesses. And so we have e-commerce stores, we have national people that are going after national keywords, and then people that are in a specific location like Colorado or New York or California or city under that state. And so there's a lot of different kind of keywords that are out there. So it's both good and bad news, Jacqueline, because the good news is that because you're going after national keywords, there's a ton of keywords that people are typing in for your specific niche, right? Whereas if it was a specific location, you're limited to the specific keywords that have to do with that location. But the bad news is that because you're going after national keywords, you're competing and butting heads against a lot of people that have this kind of business and this kind of thing around the nation. And so you have a lot more competition. So in order for us to basically outrank your competitors for the keywords that we want to go after, essentially what it means is that we're going head to head against them, and we have to show Google that your SEO, that your website is better than their website. And so in order for us to do that, it's going to take a lot more effort because we basically won't have to outbeat your competition where there's more of this competition for the keywords that we want to go after. And so the fact that we don't have any SEO done on the site means that we have a lot of work cut out for us to get this ranked. And SEO is one of those things that, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to tell you, hey, we can get you ranked and everything's gonna be good and you're gonna be killing it within the next month. Unfortunately, that's not how it works, because purely based on user behavior, 95% of people stay on the first page for the various keywords and query they type into Google. So if someone were to type in sunglasses for kids, 95% of them are going to stay on the top 10 websites that they find on the first page and click on those and probably purchase through one of those websites rather than actually hitting the second, third, fourth, fifth page. And so that means that, since we're starting from zero, it shows, you see how it says no organic traffic and no organic keywords? It basically means that you're not being found for any keywords on Google right now. And so what we need to do is we're starting from zero. And so maybe we'll do our SEO work and then you'll get on the 10th page, right? And then we continue to do more of our work and then you get on the 5th page. So we've effectively beat 50 websites for the keywords that other competitors for the keywords we want to rank for. And then we do more of our SEO work and we get you from the 5th page to the 2nd page. Now, until we get on the 1st page, even you do get traffic on the 2nd page, just not as much. But until you get on that 1st page, you're not going to see the huge influx of traffic to your site, and that's which is going to correlate into business. And so in terms of long-term vision for your company and your business, obviously SEO makes sense because you're not having to pay for every single time someone clicks on your website. Once you're ranked there, then no matter whether a person clicks on it 10 times or 10,000 times to the site, you're not going to be paying for that because you're ranking there organically, and organically obviously converts better and things like that because it's in Google, in people's eyes, an organic listing is trusted over a paid listing that shows up on Google's sponsored links and things like that. And so so SEO is a long-term investment, right? And so you have to look at it from that perspective. And so if you can't wrap your mind around having to put something down for the next 6 to 8 months and maybe not potentially see the return on investment for that initial period, then SEO might not be the best fit for you. And I don't mind saying this to you because at the end of the day, we're working with each other, right? And so if it's not going to work out, then we really shouldn't partner up from the get-go. If you can't work with that kind of situation, right? And so that's the kind of thing that I'm looking at. Like I said, it's national keywords, and so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for us to rank for these keywords. So let me go ahead and pull up one of your competitors. What I'm going to type in is one of the keywords that you want to rank for, which is kids sunglasses. So it looks like we got Baby Eaters right here. It's a pretty cool name. Let's take a look and see what kind of metrics that they have. So you'll see right here that they have 752 referring domains. Remember how I was talking about we were shooting for 300? They have 752. So compared to yours, you got 2 and 3 backlinks, and these guys got 752 live, 5,700 backlinks. And so you can see how, and they've been doing their SEO since all the way back in 2013. So you can see how they are quite a bit ahead in terms of their online profile. And this is kind of the beast that we have to take on and make sure that we compete with them in terms of SEO so we can outrank them for these kinds of keywords. Now, these are the top guys in the niche. Now, there's people like at the bottom of the first page probably that's not going to have these kinds of metrics. But you can see how there's a direct correlation between how much links that they have, how much authority and trust that's cooked into their site, and how much traffic that they're getting and how they're ranking highly for the keywords they want to rank for. They get at least 7,700 visitors to the site every single month. And this actually is on the low end. I'm sure they get a ton more than this, probably closer to about 20,000 people. But I'm sure in terms of business, they're killing it. They're probably a legitimate company, and and this is probably solely what they do for their business. And so this is the kind of competition that we're looking at, and we need to make sure that we're competing with them in terms of your SEO. All right. So hopefully, if you have any questions about anything that I've mentioned, I'm more than happy to answer them. Obviously via phone, by email, by Skype chat, whatever kind of floats your boat. All right. So the next thing I did was I grabbed your keywords and put it into our Keywords Explorer tool. It allows me to look at some of the metrics behind some of these keywords that I can find. And so, mini-me is probably not the best relevant keyword that we want to go after. So when we do our keyword research, right, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we go after keywords that are relevant to the service and niche that you provide, and B, that actually have search volume, and C, actually don't have a ton of competition for that keyword, so we can rank you quicker rather than trying to go for the most competitive keyword and taking you 8 months to get there. We want to go after some of the lower hanging fruit where it's maybe not get as much search volume, but you're still getting traffic to your site. You're starting to get some traction. You're starting to get some sales rather than trying to go after the main money keyword that might take you a really long time to rank for, right? And so mini-me doesn't really hit that first criteria in terms of being relevant to the service and niche you provide, because mini-me, when people are typing that in, it probably has to do with like the character from Austin Powers. And so when someone's typing in mini-me, it might not be the best keyword that to go after, because they probably, just to be frank with you, not looking for sunglasses in that case. Kid sunglasses obviously makes sense, and it has 2,900 search volume, and it's got 4 keyword difficulty, so it's very possible for us to get you ranked. Obviously, we still have to go after these guides, but very possible for us to rank, especially compared to Mini-Me. Junia, obviously that is your brand name, so obviously that's a keyword that we want to get you on the first page for. Looks like we have a keyword difficulty of 21, so it's not going to be a walk in the park, but definitely doable for us. Sunglasses for kids gets 600 searches per month, so another fantastic keyword that we want to go after. Because it also has a pretty low keyword difficulty. Junia sunglasses and mini-me sunglasses probably not worth our time because it only gets 0 to 10 searches per month, so not really any keywords, not any search volume. All right. The last thing I did was I actually typed in kids sunglasses to our Keywords Explorer tool. It allows us to pull up other keywords that people are typing into Google and look at some of the metrics behind those keywords. So you can see, these 2 keywords obviously make sense for you, and then kids aviator sunglasses. Now, I don't know if you're legally allowed to say aviators or aviators just the type, so you can actually rank for that. Obviously, Oakley and Ray-Bans are probably not something that you might legally be allowed to rank for. But you can see, kids aviator gets 500 searches per month, 0 KDs, so very possible for us to rank for. So in this space, what I can say right off the top of my head is that in this case it is also good and bad. Because you have a bunch of these keywords that we can rank for, but the bad is that there's a competition for all of these keywords. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we do our keyword research. So if we're to tackle this project on, what I would do is I would first initially do my research, right? And do a bunch of homework. Obviously, this is just a very rudimentary work because I can't spend hours to do this video or to do this keyword research for someone that might not even be interested in the first place, right? And so what we would do is we would spend some serious time to go after to do our keyword research and find the most optimal keyword set. And then I would send that your way and see which ones make sense for your business, which ones make sense for the kind of stuff that you're trying to looking to carry and have in the production line. And then from there, come up with the most optimal keyword set of probably about 10, and then start working our SEO around that keyword set and getting you ranked for those keywords. And so it's a very scientific and data-driven methodology where we actually look at the data and the metrics behind a keyword and make sure that it makes sense before actually trying to go after that keyword, instead of trying to guess and see, oh, people are probably typing in best kid sunglasses 2017, 2018, right? And so we want to make sure that we do our homework and go after those kinds of keywords, because people are also typing in cheap kids sunglasses, right? Kids designer sunglasses, that could be pretty interesting. Best kid sunglasses, so people are typing in these kind of keywords, and they actually have low KD, which means that you don't have a ton of competition. We've worked with clients that have like 70 KD in like the credit repair niche, which has been one heck of a journey. But if we can rank them for that kind of keyword, we could definitely rank you for this kind of keyword. Like I said, it's not going to be a walk in the park because these are national keywords, but definitely possible for us to get this going. So I think I'll wrap it up here. I think the site does need a little bit of work. I think these images are really nice. They really are. And then you have your Instagram and your Pinterest linked. So that's fantastic, but we just need a little bit more content because Google can't read like images and determine what your site's about, but they can read the text that's on the site. So we want to make sure that we help guide Google and help them understand exactly what your website is about, as well as what kind of keywords that we want to go after. And so we want to make sure that we have a little bit more content. And some of the things that we also want to do is kind of have more policy, like shipping facts and that kind of thing. It might be like an about us, and oh, you do have an about us. And so we just need to make sure that the site's fleshed out. Now, obviously, we do website design as well. But if you have a designer that's doing the website for you, then what I could do is I could give you recommendations. Hey, you're probably gonna need something like this. You're probably gonna need something like this. So like these guys, baby eaters, they have a guaranteed sun safety. You got a mailing list right here. That's something I would recommend. You want to collect emails, and then they've got like where they've been featured in, right? We can actually get geo listed in a lot of these kinds of pages, and so you can like tout that you've been able to be sponsored in these locations. And then you got your need help, our company, our team size, got careers and press. So you know how the site just seems more official and legit, and so we want to make sure that that your site is just as good, if not better, than your competition. So we want to make sure we have all these elements because people are going to be looking around different sites, and if it doesn't have that wow factor, then they're going to be looking at another website, and their website is, looks nicer than your website. Odds are they're probably going to purchase through your competitor's site than your site. All right. All right, so this went a little bit longer than I was intended for, but hopefully, Jacqueline, at the very least, you got some insight out of this. And if you are interested, definitely looking forward to talking to you soon about this. All right, thank you.